Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is going to be a short one, and there's a good reason for that, because it's called Putting Things Down Before They Get Too Heavy. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the Wellness Simplified podcast. Simple wellness tips to help you improve your life without turning it upside down. With your host, award-winning fitness instructor, nutrition coach, and wellness expert, Susie Fevens.
Hello, friends. Yes, today's going to be another short episode, and there is, like I said in the intro, a good reason for that. And that reason is I am taking a short hiatus from the podcast, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I think when I have these notions that it is, I don't want to say a teachable moment because I don't feel like I'm the teacher here. I feel like we're all in this together, and as much as my situation is unique to me, it's also not unique at all. So I feel like when I share these things, you can probably apply it in some way, shape, or form to your own life. And I think I've had another version of this podcast where I talked about something similar, but in this time I'm actually implementing it myself. So I enjoy recording this podcast. It doesn't stress me out. This doesn't stress me out. This is not something that's heavy. It's not like I think, oh, I have to record a podcast. However, this is not a direct moneymaker. It does not directly increase my bottom line, right? There's no ads or anything on here. I'm not very good at remembering to talk about my paid programs and stuff here. So it's not like it's generating a bunch of money for anything. It's more of one of those connection pieces where I get to connect with you, and I think that's fabulous and I love it. But because of this pandemic, because of the way I've had to reinvent my business a number of times over, I need to create a little bit more space in my work hours to let me finish creating some of these new products I've been working on for so long, and I just can't get them out because I just don't have enough dedicated time. And one of the ways I'm doing that is by cutting out any extra things for a little while so that I can get them done. What is a little while? I don't know. I might be back in 2 weeks' time. It might be a month. It might be 2. I cannot imagine that it's going to be longer than that. I really would say a month is probably what we're looking at here. But if you're listening to this and it's January 2023 and there's no new episodes, I was clearly wrong about that. But that will not happen. That will not happen. So this proverbial rock of the podcast is not heavy. It does not feel heavy. If I were to continue to try and carry this while trying to dig a hole, if we want to, it's not a very good analogy, but if we were saying that creating a new product is like digging a hole and I'm holding on to a rock at the same time, yeah, that's going to be a whole lot harder than if I just set the rock down and dig the hole, and then when I'm done with the hole, I can pick the rock back up. It's not a heavy rock. It's just going to get in the way. It's just going to get in the way. So I'm going to sit it down. I'm just going to sit it down for a little bit of time so that I can do these things that are going to help me increase my bottom line, connect to more people, hopefully bring more people into listening to the podcast as well. You know, I work really hard to make sure that all of my things feed into one another so that it is just one nice big, let's go back to the rock that's gathering moss and getting fatter and wonderful. But I got to sit that rock down while I dig my hole. And really, I should have said like build a building. Digging a hole sounds negative, not positive. It's totally positive. I just want to get this Recharge and Resilient program done that I've been talking about for over a year, you guys, and it's still not out, and I just need to get it done, as well as my period cycle sync workout program. And that one especially, like, I have all the classes, I have all the tools, I just need to have some dedicated time to sit down and put it together. So outwardly, all that's going to really appear to change is that I'm not going to be posting new podcast episodes for a little while. It's probably going to be a month. Who knows? I am going to be putting down some other things as well. You're not going to see them because they're things on the back end that can just be put off for a little while, like my September accounting. We'll just let November Susie take care of September and October. Just a few different things that I can put down to allow me to get this done. And I just think it's a really good reminder that you can do that in your life too. And sometimes that thing that you have to put down might be exercise. It might be making all home cooked meals. It might be volunteering at whatever volunteer position you enjoy. It could be a lot of different things. And just because you're putting them down temporarily while you get through something doesn't mean that they aren't important to you, doesn't mean that you're not going to pick them back up later. It just means right now, in this moment, you need to create a little bit more space to do something else. And that is okay. It's okay. My friend Dr. Ashley Margison and my naturopath, she likes to talk about balls and how some balls are plastic and some balls are glass. And if you drop a plastic ball, it's just going to bounce. If you drop a glass ball, it's going to crack. If you do it enough times, you're going to break it. Some of those balls are more delicate than others. So if you drop a plastic ball, in this case, podcast, it's just going to bounce and I'm going to be able to pick it back up. No harm done. But if you drop a glass ball, you're going to be in a more serious situation. And those are things like your marriage or parenting or sleep, if that's really something that's important to you, like it is to me. I fall to pieces if I don't get enough sleep. So maybe if you're feeling overwhelmed, like so many of us are at this point, like, oh my gosh, who isn't feeling a bit overwhelmed? I was going somewhere today after my morning exercise class and I ran into construction. And I was just like, you know what? I cannot deal with this. I just cannot deal with this right now. And I just turned around and left. And it wasn't a big thing of construction. It wasn't like there was a big lineup. There was, I don't know. It was just my brain said, you know what? We cannot handle this right now. This is just another hitch in our plan and we are out. We're not going to do it. So I didn't go where I was planning to go and I will try again tomorrow because I just in that moment could not deal. I just couldn't deal. And I don't want to get to that point when it comes to this podcast. I want it to still be something I enjoy and I don't want it to feel heavy and I don't want it to feel like a chore. So I'm just going to sit it down and I'll try again in a few weeks when I've cleared out some of those other things. And the nice thing about this other stuff that I have to do, it's a one and done situation. So once I get those programs done, they're done. It's not something that I'm adding to my life forever. It's just a creative period. And that is the same for a lot of times when we have something in our life. Maybe you're working on a big project at work and it's a 4-week project and you have to put some of those plastic balls down. Put them down. Maybe it is a hectic time at home. Whatever your thing is. Sometimes you just have a busy period or you need to do something for a certain period of time and you have to put a couple things down. Please do. Please do. I am. And this might just be a little thing, just like your 1 hour a week volunteering at the library might be a little thing, but it might be just enough to give you a little bit more space to do whatever that thing is that's pressing at this moment. So, I'm putting this down. What can you put down? What is that thing, that plastic ball that is something that you enjoy, is something that you think is worthwhile, but maybe just isn't vital right now? What is something that you can put down to just create a little bit more space? And maybe the space you need is just so you can sit on the couch. And that is 100% valid. You don't need to fill it with another project. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like I was feeling today and you saw construction and you just can't deal and you turn around and left, maybe you need to create some space to just have space. That's okay too. That is okay too. And I will say it again. If the thing you need to put down is exercise or is eating homemade meals and you have to go the bagged salad and frozen lasagna route for a week or two, hopefully you'll have a little bit more variation than that. Do it. Do it. Stress will do you a lot more harm than eating some quote unquote less healthy foods for a week or two. Okay? Take care of yourself. I will be back before you know it. You can always find me on the interwebs. I've got a brand new Instagram handle though. If you don't already follow me, you can find me at Suzy, SUZI, Fevens, F as in Frank, EVENS. Suzy Confesses is no more on Instagram, so Suzy.Fevens. Or on Facebook at facebook.com/confessions of a fitness instructor. Of course, you can find my virtual studio at welluniversity.ca. That is where the programs that I'm going to be creating are going to live, so you can check that out. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful space of time before I'm back. Go put something down. And then enjoy the rest of your day.